Hey everybody, I want to go over point slope formula again, just give you guys a few examples to reference back if you need help. Remember the point slope formula is y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. So with these, we'll use it when we're given, so in this case, we're given a point. So you're going to plug in your x1, whatever you're given there, and then you'll plug in your y1, whatever you're given there. And then you're going to be given a slope as well, and you're going to plug that in front of the parentheses. So if we look at number 1 and 2, we'll do those two together. And then if you have more questions or if you need more examples, just let me know, and I can make an additional video for you guys. Okay, so when we went over this in class, we started off by labeling these. So the first number in your ordered pair is the x. Okay, so in this case, this is my x1, this is my y1, and then the slope is always your m. Okay, so then when we write the equation, I would always do it when we were going over it in class. I would do y, let me see if I get this. Okay, so we do y minus something, kind of leave a blank, equals m, so leave kind of a blank, x minus something. And so where those blanks are is kind of where I used to, we would plug in what we were given. So in this case, y minus y1. So you want to start with that. So in this case, my y1 is 1. So that's going to go plug it in the front, okay? And then as we go along, y minus y1 equals your m. So in this case, my m is 2. And then parentheses x minus my x1. So in this case, that is your 4. Okay, and then in order to solve this, you need to start by distributing, okay? So let's see, I'll start with, I'll do a different color. Okay, so you need to distribute the 2 to the x, and then you distribute the 2 to the 4. So when you do that, the y minus 1 stays the same. Then when you distribute the 2 times x, remember you can't do that in your calculator, so you just bring them together and pull them down, so 2x. And then when you distribute the 2 times the negative 4, that's going to give you negative 8. Let me fix that really quick. Okay, so that gives you negative 8. All right. And then you still want your answer to be in slope-intercept form. So y equals mx plus b. So the whole point, again, is to get y by itself. So in this case, in order to get y by itself, if you want to, you can draw that line like we have in the past. There's a negative 1 with the y. So the opposite of a negative 1 is a positive 1. So in order to move it to the other side, you have to do the opposite. And then again, I'm going to do it over here. I'm going to do it with the negative 8. Because the 1 doesn't have an x, you can't combine it with that 2x. All right, so then these would cancel. And then we're left with y equals, bring down your 2x, and then negative 8 plus 1 gives you negative 7. So then that would be your answer when you're given a point and then the slope, okay? So I'm going to do the same thing with number 2. I'll go ahead and label them, okay? So we have x1, we have y1, all right? And then my slope is my m. All right, remember I start off with the y minus something equals, all right, y minus something equals blank, leave a blank for your x minus something, okay? So in the first blank is y minus y1. So in this case, the y1 is 4. You're going to go ahead and plug that in where the y1 goes in the equation. All right, so up here, if you need to look again, so I plugged it in for where the y1 is, okay? And then as we go through, next is my m. So I'm going to take my m and I'm going to plug in 1/2. All right, and then as I go through with my equation, the next thing I got to plug in is the x1. So in this case, x1 is 2. I'm going to plug that in right there. All right. Okay, so then now, again, we need to distribute. So you're going to distribute that 1/2 to the x, okay? That's going to give you, remember you can't do it in your calculator, so it's just going to be 1/2 x there, okay? And then when you distribute the 1/2 to the negative 2, you can do that in your calculator. So if you just do 0.5 times -2, you'll get an answer there, and you should get -1, okay? Actually, color on that one really quick. So yeah, when you do that math, you will get -1, and I see that this doesn't really, give me 1 second. Okay, so then if you do 0.5 times -2, that's where you will get equals -1, and that's what I plugged in on the bottom. All right, so then the other side, y minus 4, remember, that just stays the same. And then now we're back to getting y by itself. So looking over here at this equation, we want y by itself. So in this case, we need y by itself. I need to get rid of that -4, okay? So again, the opposite of a -4 is a +4. Sorry if I'm trying to write over this kind of stuff on the next problem. All right, again, if you need to draw that line, you're more than welcome to. What you do one side, you have to do the other. So then these would cancel. That would leave you with the y. Again, bring down your 1/2 x. You can't combine the 4 with the 1/2 because it doesn't have an x, okay? So they're not really like terms, so you can't just combine them. So then now you have -1 plus 4 on this side, which comes out to be +3. All right, so that's your answer. So that's the way you would solve a problem if you were given a point and a slope, and that is on the practice quiz for Unit 3, or not the practice quiz, the final quiz for Unit 3. So again, let me know if you have any questions or if you need to see more examples. All right, talk to you guys later.